show. Be sure to share and subscribe this video. This is a new podcast. This is a new channel for wrestling talk. So for all of you out there who are new, welcome to the #1 news and rumor show on YouTube right now. This is Off the Mic with JT. I want to come out here and talk about how WWE Raw, SmackDown, NXT, how they just been so boring. It's been so boring that I've had to go outside the wrestling community and start watching stuff like Ring of Honor, TNA, NWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling. WWE, I don't know if they're trying to get rid of the fans or if they don't care anymore or they just made too much money and they're just like, you know what, you get what you get, deal with it. They're too busy trying to get guys over like Roman Reigns, and they're not worried about the fans. They're not worried about how their product is coming out anymore. They're just putting shit out there for us to watch and just whatever. I mean, just whatever. Just put it out there. Let's get it out there. And if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Nobody cares. They're still gonna watch. They're still gonna subscribe to the WWE network. They're still gonna talk about it. So that's how they feel. They like to shit all over the fans. They like to give you what you want halfway and take it away. That's just the way they are. So because of all that crap, I'm having to seek outside help. That's where we get the Bullet Club, the Elite. We have Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom 12. It's very sad when like I'm looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom 12, which I've only watched once last year, and Kenny Omega versus Okada, and that match itself was the best match I've ever seen in my life as far as a good wrestling show. Now, 1 year later, we're going to get Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, Alpha versus Omega. And that show in itself is going to be a big show, and I'm sure the card is pretty stacked on that show already. So, like I said, it's sad to have to like seek outside material when it comes to watching wrestling. So we're not going to talk about WWE right now. We're going to simply talk about Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho, Alpha versus Omega, Wrestle Kingdom 12. So just recently, so all this started with Kenny Omega coming out, cutting a promo, talking about how he's already like beating everybody in the back. There's nobody out there who can wrestle him or beat him or compete with him. So he's already like fed up. So we get Chris Jericho, who hasn't been in Japan for a very long time. He comes out, he cuts a promo on Kenny Omega, and he challenges him for the United States Championship belt at Wrestle Kingdom 12. He tells Kenny Omega that it's going to be Alpha versus Omega, and that it's a match that he's been looking forward to for a very long time, and it's a match that everyone's going to want to watch. Once in a lifetime match. So, you know, a couple of weeks go by, and you know everyone's talking about that, and then we get Kenny Omega getting attacked by Chris Jericho. Let's see if I can pull up the footage real quick. Let me see. Second. Let me see. I got some audio right here. We have Kenny Omega walking around in the ring. He just won his match. He's walking around with the United States Championship belt. He looks good. He looks ready. He has a shirt that says "Suck It" on the back. The lights dim, go dark, and then we get another video package from Chris Jericho. Let's listen to the video footage.
Wow. Congratulations, Kenny, on another great match. But are you ready for your greatest match? For your hardest match? January 4th at the Tokyo Dome.
January 4th.
12, Jericho versus Kenny. Alpha versus Omega. We're going to find out who the best in the world is, Kenny. And you better be ready, because I'm going to beat the hell out of you. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now? Do you? Do you? Huh? Huh?
I mean, like, where was this Chris Jericho on WWE? Why couldn't we have seen him main event, you know, against Brock Lesnar or, you know, Roman Reigns in this character? Why do we have to wait to? Why does it have to be outside of WWE for him to finally grow his hair back? Finally, you know, come out in a different and more original gimmick than he's been coming out as Y2J. You know what I mean?
Well, another video image and a message sent. A very strongly worded. Whoa,
we have the lights go back up, and we have Chris Jericho behind Kenny Omega. He gives Kenny Omega a code breaker. Takes off his jacket. Kicks him in the face. Starts punching him. I mean, Kenny Omega had no offense. Chris Jericho sneak attack Kenny Omega, and he grabs the United States Championship belt and hits him right in the face. Well, what I'm wondering is why the Bullet Club, the Elite, took too damn long to come out and help Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks that came out a long time ago. I don't know what happened.
What is this all? Chris Jericho and Omega's busted open. What? Oh, that belt! Oh my God! That belt lacerated Omega.
He's behind Kenny Omega. He's grabbing his hair and he's punching him straight in the head. He's already bleeding as it is. He just, Kenny Omega tries to fight back, but hits him right in the head again.
Omega's busted wide open. Kenny's coming up. Kenny's coming up. Jericho, Codebreaker. Oh God. Don, somebody's got to stop this. Omega's busted wide open. Oh God. Where's the doctors?
So there you have it. Chris Jericho has officially fired the first strike. I mean, he proceeds to attack Kenny Omega. He leaves the ring for a second and he runs back in and just completely attacks him. He already busted him wide open. We finally get the Young Bucks who finally come out and help Kenny Omega. By then it's already too late. So it's crazy, like how something like that can overpower what WWE's been doing the last 3 months. You know what I mean? I mean, I'd rather watch um, Chris Jericho come out and face Kenny Omega and cut a promo on Kenny Omega. I'd rather watch those two than watch anything that's on WWE right now, and that's really really sad because WWE is the place to be. WWE is the place to wrestle, and it's become so just so polluted with like crap that nobody wants to go anymore. Nobody wants to go to WWE no more. They rather stay at you know people rather wrestle at a indies promotion than come to the WWE because they know that their characters is going to be destroyed. So we have this press conference with Kenny Omega. He's gonna speak out on the attack of Chris Jericho. He has his head wrapped. Let's see what he says.
一夜明けての現在の心境を改めて伺いたいと思います。では、ケニー選手、コメントをよろしくお願いします。
After the challenge, I'd thought this would become a gentleman's contest. This would truly be the best in the world versus possibly the greatest of all time. I was excited. Chris Jericho, I looked up to you. And then after yesterday, I've got yet another reason to believe that you're the best. I've got yet another reason to look up to you, Chris Jericho, because you taught me a very valuable lesson. You know, as professional wrestlers, we're performers, we are artists, and sometimes we get caught up too much in the entertainment of the fans. Someone like me gets too caught up in 5-star matches, 6-star matches, best bouts, being the MVP. You reminded me yesterday, Chris Jericho, that at its core, professional wrestling is a fight.
Exactly.
And so I understand now what I must do. This isn't ever gonna be who's the greater athlete. This isn't gonna be who can attach themselves more to the fans, who can win over our live crowd. This isn't gonna be who the world is cheering for.
You just like it when Kenny Omega cuts a promo.
WWE versus New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is gonna be a fight.
WWE versus New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Think that they are the best.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm willing to shed.
There is no competition anymore.
And you're willing to shed blood for it too. I can feel it. This has become something special, something that's really taken a life of its own. And yeah, I know there are going to be fans that after this double main event announcement, they're going to feel a little salty. Fret not. I am not here to take your precious Naito's main event. I could care less about that now. As professional wrestlers, we have pride. Being a main event is a prideful thing. It's a feather in our cap, a notch on our belt. This year, I was able to main event against Kazuchika Okada, possibly one of the greatest matches of all time.
No, the greatest match of all time. Don't you just like it when Kenny Omega can just come out and cut a nice, peaceful, and soft promo after he just got attacked and destroyed by Chris Jericho? That's the kind of guy he is. You know, you can attack him from behind, you can do a sneak attack, but at the end of the day, he's still the cleaner. He is Kenny Omega, and he will seek revenge. When you least expect it, Kenny Omega will already be in your face, making you bleed worse than you made him bleed.
And I take pride in saying that that was a main event. A main event worth remembering. A main event that may become legendary. I have no doubt in my mind, Chris, that our match together at the next Tokyo Dome will be a legendary match. But I could care less where it is on the card. This has now become a personal battle. So, Chris, bring your best. And next time, yes, I can promise you, you're not going to get a chance to attack me from behind. You're going to see me coming head on.
Exactly. In
それでは次の
your
お願いいたします。
face. Here on Off the Mic, Kenny Omega responds to Chris Jericho. He tells him, guess what? This ain't no gentleman's match anymore. This is a first bloods match. And guess what? The next time you see me, it's not going to be from behind. It's going to be in your face. Kenny Omega cuts the best promo I've ever heard in a long time. He puts the mic down, drinks a cup of water, and then just waits patiently for Chris Jericho to come out and do his thing. So we have Chris Jericho. It's his turn to respond to the attack that he gave to Kenny Omega. He comes out and he talks about how, well, let's just listen to the promo real quick, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Is there any particular reason why you did that last night in the ring in Fukuoka?
Well, you're right. It is a dream match. Alpha versus Omega, Kenny versus Jericho. You could.
Kenny Omega just attacked Chris Jericho. He's beating the crap out of Y2J. How do you like that now, Alpha? You want to come out here and you want to attack Kenny Omega? Chris Jericho just threw a table at Kenny Omega. Oh my God. I think he just knocked him out. Wow. Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega just laughing at Chris Jericho. Kenny Omega just told Chris Jericho that he's going to see him at the Tokyo Dome. Chris Jericho's all mad and upset. Oh, you don't like it when somebody attacks you, but you want to go ahead and attack someone from behind, huh? Payback is a bitch. Chris Jericho's just caught off guard. He's just upset.
All right. This is going to be a match. This is going to be a match that you have never seen in New Japan. This is not about 5 stars, 7 stars. Not about how many times you can go for your finishing move. This is a fight. It's a war. It's Alpha versus Omega. And Kenny, you are going to get the shit kicked out of you. You understand me? Huh? You get it? Huh?
Right about now, it looks like you get the shit kicked out of yourself.
This match at the Tokyo Dome is the most important match I've ever had in Japan. Will you laugh at that fuckface? Shut your mouth.
That's funny. He called him a fuckface.
I am the best in the world. I am the greatest of all time. And I'm going to prove it January 4th at the Tokyo Dome. We'll see you there. Don't miss this match, because you'll never see it again in New Japan. Ever. Dream match. Alpha versus Omega. One time only. Tokyo Dome, January 4th.
Yeah, Chris Jericho was totally caught off guard.
Kenny Omega. It's time for the cleaner. It's time for the cleaner's career to be done. January 4th.
No chance in
Kenny
hell.
Omega's last match at the Tokyo Dome. It'll be Kenny
No
Omega's last match in
chance
Japan.
in hell.
Write that down, Fumi Saito. His last match ever. Kenny Omega's finished in Japan.
No chance in hell. It's his last match.
His last match. Write that down.
He grabs somebody's fucking notebook. He writes it down on a fucking piece of paper. He tells them the last match.
Right there. You see it? His last match.
And he tears it up and just throws it in somebody's face. That's funny. What a jackass. That is hilarious.
The Dog Palace. Stay the hell out of my way, too.
There you have it, guys. January 4th, Wrestle Kingdom 12. Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. Alpha versus Omega. Don't miss it. It's going to be Kenny Omega's last match in Tokyo, which I highly doubt. But if that means that he's going to go to WWE and get eaten alive by creative, fuck no. If anything, he goes to Ring of Honor. Kenny Omega will go to Ring of Honor before he goes anywhere else close to WWE. Right now, Kenny Omega is on top of the world. He has no reason to come to WWE unless he's going to main event WrestleMania with Chris Jericho or AJ Styles for like 1 year. But that's about it. There you have it. It's other shows like that make me wanna, that remind me how much of a wrestling fan I used to be, because when I watch Raw and SmackDown, all I can think about is how embarrassed I am to be a wrestling fan. So Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, I'm definitely looking forward to that match. I'll give you updates and on what I hear later on in the week or next week. If anything else happens, be the first to know. I'll make a video. So there you have it, man. If you've never seen the Wrestle Kingdom 12 before, I recommend you go out and look for it and you watch it, and just enjoy it, man. Enjoy a good wrestling match. That's all I can say. Let's get into the news and rumors of the night. I don't have well, this is a little bit old, but Rick Swann has been arrested for false imprisonment and domestic violence against his wife. He has yet to be he has been suspended from WWE. He was released from jail. He did lose his opportunity to go up against Drew Gulak next or this week on Raw, so they had another match. So Rick Swann could possibly be fired from WWE if he is charged with with whatever he did. Like that guy is an idiot. I don't know why he did what he did. I mean, I feel sorry for the guy, but you know what? You don't put your hands on a woman. You don't put her in a headlock, throw her in the damn car. This is ridiculous. So according to Cage side seats, they're trying to schedule a match between Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryant. WWE is building a Shane McMahon versus Daniel Bryan feud. Even if Bryan never gets cleared to wrestle, that would simply mean someone could wrestle in Bryan's place in case he's not cleared. So they're going to hype the match up. They're going to let us think that he's going to wrestle, and if he doesn't get cleared, then they're going to put somebody else in the match. I think that Daniel Bryan coming back to wrestle is a good thing, but I mean, he was not medically cleared for a reason. So if he comes back and he hurts himself again, then it could either end his career or end his life. I mean, When he was wrestling in WWE, he got injured 1 year, then he came back, and then he got injured again, and he just it was one injury after another injury. Like I know the fans want him back. I want him back, but to see him come back and just get injured again and have his hopes just blown away, it just sucks. I mean, I think that he just had a baby. Him and Bree are happy. Um, he has a good general manager spot where he's at, so I think he should just stay where he's at and just collect the check, man. I mean, at this point, I know you want to come back and wrestle, but it's not worth it, man. It's not worth your life. It's not worth getting injured even more. You could possibly get paralyzed, or you can have head trauma. It's just ridiculous. You don't want to risk it. So I mean, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's official, but I mean, it's all speculation. So we'll see. We'll see in the upcoming future if we see a McMahon versus Daniel Bryan match. In the meantime, we have WWE is considering bringing back the Wyatt family compound, which I thought Randy Orton burnt to the ground, for a Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy match. I don't know what's going on with the whole Bray Wyatt Matt Hardy thing, but last week was cool. This week was cruel. WWE. I could have swore I heard somebody on Raw last night saying that Matt Hardy was going to be on Raw last night, and he wasn't. Instead, they cut another promo, versus Wyatt, and it sounded good, but at the same time, it was way too long, and it sucked. Seeing it again. I hope that they debut next week on Raw. If they don't, I might just be already over this whole woken Matt Hardy bullshit. That's what's going on. Here's something I just talked about earlier. There was some confusion, but Rick Swann has been released from jail after he was arrested for battery and false imprisonment. He may not be released even if he's cleared, but there's a likely that the end of any push for him for a long time. I'm sorry. He may not be released even if he's cleared, but this is likely the end of any push for him for a long time. So I mean, he might get cleared of all these charges, and he did get released. But any push that he did have with WWE is gone. He's probably gonna go back to the Indies and wrestle with his wife Sue. I'm sure they were arguing about how he hasn't made it WWE and she has it, well, not made at all because she's working for an Indies promotion. I want to say she's wrestling for she has a match going on this week at I think it was like a House of Glory match. I've heard one of the guys I listen to on YouTube. He has his own podcast. He brought it up. I think he's doing a commentary at a House of Glory match. So that I mean, I wish I could go to something like that, but it's in New York, so way too far from where I'm at. Here's another piece of news we got here. CM Punk went to UFC 218, but the word is he didn't set up his next fight, and it may not be happening anytime soon. So CM Punk is still trying to follow his UFC dream. Whether he fights or not, I mean, who knows? Right now, CM Punk should be focusing on going to Ring of Honor, joining the Bullet Club, and just being part of the elite, man. Come on. UFC's not your thing. You got your ass whooped. What would you expect? Tyler Bate is apparently dealing with a rib injury, but it's not serious. I forget who that dude is. I know that Tyler Bate. Speaking of sex scandals, we were talking about it. You didn't know we were talking about sex scandals? Paige comments on her sex scandal, how it affected her health, and what she learned from it. Yeah, don't record it and don't let it get out in the public. WWE star Paige was a recent guest on Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia. She goes, and I quote, "I craved privacy. I don't even want to tell people the next time I speak to a guy. I don't want people to know about it. And it mostly because of what happened last year. People invading my privacy to the point where sometimes I don't even want to go out." Well, then erase any video you have. Like, record it, save it on a hard drive, and erase it off your phone. Don't post it on iCloud. Don't, share it around the, social media for everyone to see. And don't get hacked. People are just looking for any reason for me to be mad. For example, today, the day the episode was recorded, is Wednesday, and I was out with my friends. We're just sitting there, and I'm having a Bloody Mary, whatever. And a guy goes up to my friend and says that the porn star, that porn star I jerked off to her yesterday. Oh fuck, that was fucked up. My friend, she did stand up for me, but I was just like, I went to the toilet and I cried in the toilet. What'd you expect, man? You got caught fucking all these other superstars. It's just one of those things where I find it hard to. Fuck, my printer just fucking fell out of nowhere. I think I have ghosts in here, man. It's just one of those things where I find it hard to be close with anybody. That's exactly a reason why I am not mad. I'm not a mad person. Those are the kinds of things that I don't want to be known like that. People make mistakes, and I've made a ton of mistakes. The biggest mistake is you made this last year was getting with Alberto Del Rio. Like, seriously, bro. Like, that was your worst mistake. People make mistakes, and I've made. You talk with me or what? No. You finally made an appearance. You finally decided that you're gonna be part of the show. You traitor. This is I forgot what was that. I don't know. I was already in a position where I know I could have made something of myself, and I made a stupid mistake. Now that's something So last year, Paige's phone got hacked. She had a bunch of videos of her and Xavier Woods having sex, and it got out in the public, and now she's ashamed. People are making fun of her when she's in public. And what would you expect was gonna happen? Like, don't make sex videos and don't save them on your phone and don't post them on iCloud and don't get hacked. Yeah, she goes into a big old story. Fact of the matter is, she's back, and she does look good. She did bring Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville with her, and they look good on Raw, but who knows where that's gonna go. What's next on? As far as news and rumors, that's all I got. We'll see what comes out during the week. We'll see what I can post. As for now, we call it an end to this show, and we'll see you tomorrow for any other news and rumors, or maybe an NXT live show review and results. Until then, share and subscribe to this video, and let's get Candy back on the show. Good night and goodbye.